Here we come riding in once again. It's another great episode of the Outlaw of College Football. Today we're going to have a little history lesson to try to get us through these dog days of the summer as it just drags for us college football fans out there as we are basically just chomping at the bit to finally get back to college football as the preseason magazines have came out, and that just wets your taste buds a little bit and makes it actually worse for me. But before we get to all that, let's go ahead and give those random four horsemen shout outs of the day. They go to Killer Breeze, James, Mike Happy, and Sean James. Are mounted up and saddled up and ready to go, and they're going to help us with today's college football invasion. Also, if you have any ideas for the show, or possibly even want to be on the show, because this is the home of the Common Joe and the Common Sally in the know, even more so than all those media talking heads, just hit me up on X at OCF Productions. Now, getting right to it here. Want to get a little bit of history lesson today because I've been hearing a lot of haters out there talking smack about Oklahoma and Alabama because, Alabama has went a few years without winning a national championship and have missed the playoffs 2 out of the last 3 years. But Alabama's probably won more national championships in the past 10 to 15 years than most programs have won in 130 years of their existence. But we're going to start with Oklahoma first, then Alabama, and I'm going to tell y'all, and then y'all could give me your thoughts on this, why Alabama and Oklahoma, yes, they're blue bloods, but they to me are on a different level. And I'm not just saying that because they're my two favorite teams. They are the two Crimson Nations, but there's a lot of reasons why these two, to me, stand apart from the rest. So we're going to start with Oklahoma first here. Got a little notey notes right here. The old school style. Oklahoma has 50-plus conference titles in their existence, more than any other program out there. While they may not have the most national titles, they do have the most conference titles, and that still means a lot. And in addition to them having those 50-plus conference titles, they also have the longest winning streak to this day in major college football at 47 in a row under the great Bud Wilkinson. And I doubt that record will ever be broken, ever again, as the great Chris Jericho would say. They also have pure consistency over a grand, bigger picture of time to me than someone like Notre Dame, for example. A lot of people are like, why is it Notre Dame considered a gold blood? Because they do claim more national championships than Oklahoma. But when Notre Dame is not winning national championships, they just are not that consistent to me. Since 1988, when they last won a national title, Notre Dame has been on again and off again. They have made a few appearances in the playoffs and in the BCS title game back in the day when it was the BCS championship. But as far as being consistent with it and doing things while they're not winning national titles, they just are not consistent enough to me to be considered a gold blood as compared to Alabama and Oklahoma. They also have great historical games as declared by unbiased historians. This ain't Oklahoma people or Alabama people or Texas people saying this or whomever you want to include. These are unbiased historians. When it comes to mind is the game of the century in 1971. People still talk about to this day. People that were not even born then. I think I might have been a month or two old then. Sort of dating myself. That's one example of the many great games and historical things that Oklahoma and their program have been associated with throughout history. They have the second most Heisman trophies and numerous other awards and numerous All-Americans as well. Once again, coming in with the consistency that I was talking about. They have great traditions. The Boomer Schooner, everybody's aware of the Boomer Schooner. It's a tradition. It's a staple of college football. If you don't know about it, or you claim you don't know about it, you're either not a real college football fan or you're just being one of those haters. They also, as far as tradition goes, have the 3 Bs, as you know, Bud, Barry, and Bob. Actually, the 4 Bs, excuse me, because you had Benny, Bud, Barry, and Bob, the 4 Bs. So they have that tradition and may have a 5th B if Brent Venables can get his program where it needs to be. Now, let's move on to Alabama. Alabama, to me, is a different animal. They would probably be considered the king of kings of college football. I call them that all the time. It aggravates people. They try to claim I'm being sacrilegious, and I'm not. I'm not talking about Jesus. I'm just talking about, as far as college football goes, Alabama to me is probably the king of kings of college football. They're the Taj Mahal of college football, man. It's where, a lot of people strive to be like the University of Alabama. Alabama has won national championships under 5 different head coaches. That's more than any other program out there. They got 18 national titles, and some of them they don't claim. People are like, well, you won national titles when they really shouldn't have counted, which is horseshit because everybody else out there is claiming them too. So if y'all can claim them, we can claim them. Y'all claim bowl titles. Y'all claim poll titles from the UPI and the coaches poll when they give the national championship before the bowl game. But everybody was doing that whenever they accepted the UPI, now coaches poll, national title. Up until, I think, 1974, they considered the bowl game an exhibition game. So they give out their national title before the bowl games. But they've done that. I think the UPI, or the coaches poll, was formed in probably the late 40s or maybe in the 50s. And there was numerous other people out there, numerous other programs that claimed those titles that were awarded to them by the coaches UPI poll, not just Alabama. So that shoots that down. And, a lot of Oklahoma fans will come in here and say, we could claim more. We probably have more national titles than Notre Dame, who claims 10 or 11. But Alabama doesn't claim some that's recognized by the NCAA.org themselves. You can look it up on the website. I think the NCAA.org actually recognizes Alabama with like 21 or 22 national titles. So even in Oklahoma's instance, which I love Oklahoma people, they have always treated me well. You can't really shoot down Alabama's claim by saying, well, we don't claim certain titles, and y'all do, because there's certain titles out there that we don't claim either. I mean, maybe y'all could claim more and be up to about 13 or 14, but Alabama could claim more too, according to NCAA.org, which is the official website that recognizes national titles for collegiate sports. Another thing that makes Alabama stand out over all the rest is the fact that they've won national titles under every imaginable format put before them in the history of mankind in college football. They started in 1925 and 26 back-to-back in the Rose Bowl era. Back then, the Rose Bowl, by most reputable publications, as recognized by NCAA.org once again, declared the Rose Bowl winner the national champion. It was like the de facto BCS national championship back then. Then the AP poll came around. Alabama won national titles in that era, as well as the UPI coaches poll, which I also mentioned. So they won in the poll there as well. And then, as you know, we went about 17 years after Gene Stallings before we won national titles. People's like, you're just living in the past. You haven't really won a national title in the BCS era. And then we did numerous times under Nick Saban. And then they expanded it the playoff to 4 teams because they had a knee-jerk reaction to Alabama playing LSU in the national title game. And then Alabama won national championships in the 14 playoff format as well. They have yet to win one in the new 12-team format, which won't probably stay 12 teams for long. But eventually, Alabama will win a 19th national title under their 6th different head coach. Whether it's Kalen DeBoer or not remains to be seen, but it will happen. Now, as far as Oklahoma, another thing about them and Alabama is they have many, 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 many iconic names in the sports, from Brian Bosworth to the Selman brothers to Baker Mayfield, numerous guys in Oklahoma lore that have just, been a part of college football history, not just for Oklahoma people, but for everybody. Alabama, same thing. Joe Namath back in the day, Derrick Henry present day, Devontae Smith, the great wide receiver for Alabama, Julio Jones going a little further back, Sean Alexander, who was a great running back for Alabama. And the list just keeps going on as far as great players associated with these programs. So, I mean, there's not much else I can say other than if you don't recognize the greatness that is the two Crimson Nations of Alabama and Oklahoma, then, like I said, you don't know college football, or you're just being a hater that's in denial, because Alabama and Oklahoma have emasculated y'all for so long. Alabama also has some of the winningest coaches of all time. As you know, Nick Saban had 292 wins, almost 300, which is rarefied air for a lot of people. Bear Bryant did have over 300 wins. He was the winningest coach of all time at one time, until Eddie Robinson, and then later on Bobby Bowden and Joe Paterno both passed him. But Alabama's had numerous coaches that have, every single coach at Alabama since probably Bear Bryant, dating back to not Red Drew, but Eli Whitworth, has won at least 10 games in their state of Alabama. Even the worst coaches at Alabama, Mike DeBozo, Mike Shula, Dennis Franchione, all those coaches have one thing in common other than being either dismissed or Alabama making them quit. Even Bill Curry, all of them had 10 wins. So if you come to Alabama and you're a decent coach, you're going to win 10 games. If you're somewhat of a great coach, you're going to win multiple national championships, just like Nick Saban did. And I fully expect that Oklahoma will get back on the national championship podium as well when they get their coaching situation situated. Whether Brent Venables is the guy for the job in the future remains to be seen. But I do know this: Oklahoma, throughout history, if you do your history and you go back and read your history books, Alabama and Oklahoma always re-arise. Always. There's no doubt about it. This is not an opinionated statement. This is a fact. Go back and read your history books. And that's all I got to say about that. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. This channel is the Big Four, and they're all absolutely free. Also, if you want to join the Outlaw Posse and get your random Four Horsemen shout out like those guys just did earlier, it's now $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. You'll get your badge, you'll get deputized, you'll get a random Four Horsemen shout out, like I said, as well as possibly the comment of the day. Also, there's a little heart down here with a money dollar sign in the middle. If you want to make a small one-time donation to the program to help keep the lights on, smash that heart, throw a few dollars in the coffers. KMCA to all the other teams. Boomer Center and Roll Tide Roll.